I didn't think I'd ever make this video, but somebody noticed from one of the other videos when I mentioned that I used to work in a brothel and wanted to hear the stories about the brothel. So here is that video. So if you're here for some health and fitness advice, you might as well just turn away. This is purely about my experiences and what I learned. And I did learn a hell of a lot, and what I saw working in one of Sheffield's finest establishments. Let me explain how it happened. At the time, I had just opened the gym. I just actually moved premises. So I was moving premises. The rent was 4 times the amount than what I was paying previously. So I was a little bit scared. I was a little bit nervous paying all this rent. But, I like a challenge. I always take things on. That's just the way I am. And then I had to obviously pay the rent. I had loads of money to earn and I had to make ends meet, and I didn't want to get put behind. And I thought, how am I going to do this? Am I going to be able to afford this? What if I don't get enough members? What if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? All sorts of doubts come into your mind. So I was thinking if I could get another job on the side. Bear in mind, I ran the gym from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Friday. And at the time, I was also doing the weekend shift. But later on, I got somebody working for me to do the weekend shift. And if Martin's watching this, big up Martin, because I couldn't have done it without him. It was a godsend, mate. And if I ever open up a gym again, he's getting the first job. So Monday to Friday, I was working 10 till 10. Every single day. There was no weeks off. Literally, that was it. That's what I chose to do. That's what I wanted to do. There was nothing else. So at the first time when I signed the lease, I thought, right, I need to make more money to get another job. Just so happens, a friend of mine, not going to mention him on here, who he is or whatever, very good friend of mine, I've known a long time, was dating somebody who owned a brothel. I'm not going to mention what brothel it was either, but it wasn't the one that was on TV. But it was just a basic, dingy, standard, £25 for a brothel. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to get blocked over here. Literally, it was £25. So my mate said to me, look, we've got a guy there and there's a couple of lads that have come down and they've punked the security guard out. He's not doing his job. He's been fat and lazy. He's just been sat there doing nothing. We need you to go there and just make sure it's safer for the girls. It's a bit of an easy job because guys who come into the brothel generally aren't there to kick off. They're just there to get one thing and then just, clear off. So I thought, okay, I need the money. How much is it going to be? He told me the price. I was like, you know what? I could do with that. It was good money, At the time, I was also had the gym, so I was earning from the gym as well, but I needed to make ends meet. I was like, you know what, bro? If I'm going to do this, let's do it. It was an extra £100 a day for a 5-hour shift. 5 or 6 hour shift. Yeah, 5 or 6 hour shift for £100. And at the time, I needed that money, bro. Now I would, I used to work 5-6 hours for £100. It's absolutely crazy. But you have to do what you got to do back in the days. So I took the job on. I said, okay. But he said, here's the thing though. I ain't going to be your boss. No one's going to be your boss. You're going to have to run everything. The girls, the guys, everything, the staff, whatever. So I was like, oh shit, how does it happen? So let me give you the inside dynamics of a brothel. You have a security guy, that was me. You also have another member of staff who is like the pimp, if you want to call it that. She is a female. She looks after all the other girls. The majority of girls that worked here were Romanian. There was a few English and a few other races, but majority were Romanian, Slovakian, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Eastern European. That's what they were. That's what they looked like. They would say they were Spanish and they were Italian and all the exotic countries or whatever they thought they wanted to act like they were. They used to say that. But we know where they were from. Now, the one girl, all she managed was the books for when they went in the room, what happens and how much the house takes and how much the house doesn't. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an insight on how much the house does take. This one was £25 for 15 minutes. £25 for 15 minutes and £40 for half an hour. That was the deal you got. So this is how it worked. Guy comes in, customer. There was another room with a lamppost in there, with a pole in there, so the girl is pole dancing. And all the girls used to line up and stand in there, just stand around. Most of the time they were playing on their phones, the music was playing, and they had a little bit of a twerk going on, whatever it was. And I just used to stand there observing. And guys used to come in and they used to pick the girls they wanted to go with. They had to walk past the reception and tell the reception. The girls told the reception, this is how long we're going in for, half an hour or 15 minutes. And when the guy paid £25 to the girl, she used to come to the office and give the house £10 for those 15 minutes. The girl was only making £15 for 15 minutes to get a kid off, bro. £15 for 15 minutes. That is it. That is the price of P. That is the price of P. £15, 15 minutes. That is it. Now, when they're in there, they have hidden charges. If you want to kiss the girl, it's an extra tenner. If you want to do that, go down on the girl, it's an extra tenner. If you want without a rubber, it's an extra tenner. And that's how the prices added up for the girls. So whatever money they made on the extras was all theirs. That's what they kept. So the house only got that £10 per girl, per 15 minutes. If they went in there for half an hour, the house used to get 20 quid, I believe. 20 quid or 15 quid. Don't quote me on it, but it was around about that. But it wasn't a lot. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it wasn't a lot. So that's the dynamics of a brothel in the UK. And I'm sure pretty much up and down the country, everything exactly the same. Now, let me tell you about the guys that used to come into the brothel. During the week, takeaway workers, restaurants, owners, workers, taxi drivers, guys on a night out, guys who just went for a drink with a female, nothing happened. So they thought, do you know what? I've already taken that Viagra. I might as well put it to use. So they take literally the normal guys used to turn up. And you'd be surprised how some guys would just turn up after work in a suit. I mean, not after work, in the evening time, but just in a suit. And it was just very strange. I used to see these guys who I would class as back in the days as professional businessmen just turning up in a brothel. Dingy, horrible, stinking brothel. Trust me, there ain't no nice brothel out there. I've been to ones in Las Vegas as well. Trust me, they stink. Now, let me talk about the stench first. When I used to sit in the office, the girls used to come in, and when they paid the money initially, so the guys, they take the guy in the room. There was in this one, there was 5 rooms. So they take the guy in the room. The guy would pay up first. You have to pay up first. The girl would just rush out, pay the money, and then go back inside again. So she'd pay the money. So the girl would make the note that this is how much it was. And I'm sat in the office now, right? When she's finished with the guys, bear in mind these girls were wearing next to nothing because they had to be quick release. You couldn't wear jeans. It was like a quick release thing. It was like panties and G-strings, thongs, whatever you call it. I don't know what they call female underwear nowadays, whatever it is. They were pretty much naked. The bras were all see-through and fishnet tights and all sorts, that kind of stuff. So the girls would come out after they've just been... And I'm sat there literally like this. And I used to sit there on my chair like this. And it was a very tight office. The office was very, very tight. So in order for them to scuffle around, it was just not a lot of room to maneuver in there. So I'm sat back like this. And the girls used to come in. And literally, they used to straddle over my legs because it was so tight, so close to me. And I'm not going to lie, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I used to get a whiff of it. I actually used to get a whiff of it. I could smell it when she straddled and like she would be there and I'd be to the side and she'd straddle over to go and get the wet wipes, which were on the, there was a windowsill here, they get the wet wipes. And then they'd stand right here, right here. Imagine somebody stood right here next to me, this close. And she'd get the wet wipe and it would just be a couple of wipes in the bin. And the bin was right there. The bin was right there, bro. And she'd wipe herself, chuck the wet wipe in the bin. And the bin, I used to put a cover on the bin. There was this plastic tray there, and I used to put a plastic tray on the bin. And I never spent much time in the office. I used to be up and about, walking about most of the time. But literally, bro. Oh, horrible sight to see. And sometimes a few of the girls, I say poor girls, but they were getting paid a lot of the money. Actually, it's not a lot of money, but they were making a couple £100 a night. Some of them. I'm talking 15, 20 dudes. 15, 20 dudes a night. Like in the space of 3 hours. They were like machines, in and out, in and out. And some of the monstrosities of guys that used to come down there, it was just horrendous. Like, I'm not saying, look, I ain't no oil painting. Maybe from here down, I am an oil painting. But I'm not saying I'm an oil painting or I'm anything special. I'm by no means compared to anybody else. No. But at least I'm clean, I'm hygienic, you know. You get what I'm trying to say. And the guys that used to come in there, they were completely opposite. I mean, I'd seen some guys this big, out of shape, sweaty, smelly, greasy, hair sticking out, the chest, just guys that ain't washed in weeks. And you can tell they ain't washed in weeks. And they probably didn't even wash after they finished this kind of stuff. And that is the dynamics of a brothel. That is exactly what used to happen. The girls used to stand in the corner. The guys used to come in. It was very, very weird. It never kicked off there. A couple of guys got a little bit rowdy with the girls and used to tell them to calm down. And they used to listen because it wasn't that kind of a flex. It wasn't like working the doors elsewhere in a nightclub where people are pissed up. Generally, people were pissed up. They'd normally calm themselves down. But because there's a girl involved, it was easy for you to get on the guy's side and say, listen, Joe, dude, come on. Get these guys, we know the whores, whatever. It's not about disrespecting the girls. I've never disrespected the girls, but you know what I'm trying to say. You got to be on the side of the guy and say, yeah, you're right, bro, you're right. Just come on, let's leave now, let's leave. You know, it's very easy to diffuse the situation. Well, at least I was very good at diffusing the situation. Now I'm going to tell you a couple of stories that I would probably have never believed. I would have never believed if anybody told me this until I'd seen it with my own eyes, and I did see this with my own eyes. So the first one is a very common one that I had seen many, many times. And I was kind of immune to it after a bit. To be honest, I was immune to it. Normal. I wasn't even bothered about this. So what happened is, obviously I'm talking about water sports here. Water sports is very, very common. And there was a shower there, so the guys could shower as well. So sometimes if they wanted to do water sports, they couldn't do it in the room because that messed up the bed for the next girl or the next guy or whatever. So they would just take them to the shower. And because the shower was a separate room, I had to stand guard to make sure nothing else was going on. And they just used to lay there, and I could see with the corner of my eye because the door was kind of like open because I had to make sure that the room wasn't complete. By the mind, the rooms are never locked anyway because I've got to be able to bust in there if the girl's screaming or anything like that. That's my job. Very rarely happened. It did happen, yeah. Some guys get a little bit rough with the girls, but you just got to get up and, listen, just get up. And when a guy's naked, he's not going to fight. No one has ever gotten aggressive with me when I've walked in the room and they've been naked. It's more the time it's like, listen, dude, come on. You're embarrassed enough now. Things have happened. Whatever she said, whatever you said, I don't want to hear about it. Get your clothes on and get off. That was it. Very, very simple. But anyway, so the water sports was a very common one. And also, believe it or not, I don't even know if I can say this. Shitting. Yes, shitting. I've seen a girl. I don't even know if I can say this without getting blocked. I'm going to try and... You know what I'm trying to say, bro. In somebody's... Yeah. The guy laid there in the shower. It was one of the most horrific things I have ever seen in my life. And the girl who did it, obviously I knew her because I've been working with her for a few months. And it was very comical because she wasn't, anything. It doesn't matter anyway. If you're getting that in your mouth, it doesn't matter who it is, bro. It's nasty. But this girl was like, yeah, I'll do it. This guy went, who's going to do it? And I thought it was a joke. And he paid £150 for this, 150 quid. He just said, he walked in. He was like a Russian, Polish kind of guy. I'll never forget this. He was like a Polish guy, Russian guy. I think he was Polish. Not a lot of Russians in Sheffield. He was a Polish guy. And he came in and went, who will do this? And this guy had a carrier bag in his hand. Like just been to the local Tesco. He had a carrier bag in his hand. He had a long black coat on. He was smirking. He was in good mood. He was in like a really good mood. He came in. He said, okay, which girl would do it? And they were joking and laughing around. And they came and got me and said, listen, this dude wants this. We're going to clean up after it. It needs to be done in the toilet. Can you just oversee it? And I'm like, oversee what exactly do you need me to oversee? And she was, this is what I'm going to do. Squat down and boom. I'm like, are you sure? She was like, yeah. I was like, holy fuck, this is insane. This is a crazy world we live in. I said, okay, no problem. So I'm stood near the door again. This is going on in there. And she squat down. And the guy was enjoying it a little too much. And I'd seen it. I saw enough for 3 seconds and I was out. I was like, yep, he's no danger. He's not going to do anything. He's just enjoying himself. He got in the shower, cleaned up. And within 20 minutes, I didn't think he'd even come in to say bye. I thought once that's happened, you're not even going to say, see you later. And the guy came in, okay, see you later, bye-bye. And he left. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I'm sure you guys are listening to this story thinking, yeah, he's got to be making this up. I kid you not. I kid you not. Seen it with my own 2 eyes. With these eyes. 2020, Tiger Woods vision. I had seen it, bro. It happens a lot more than you want to believe. Trust me on that one. Now I'm going to tell you the last story. And this is a very, very crazy story. And this is another one which was absolutely insane. Never thought I'd ever see anything like this. And I have.